you're saying that those in Riverhole have an allegiance to the previous colonel, and then the previous colonel has ambitions to run against the chief in this upcoming elections.
Yeah, so Riverhole, it's a great part of the community as well. I must say, the people are also resilient. It's just that, you know, the former colonel has been there, previously was there for almost 12 years. So you have to understand that type of loyalty that is going to be there. Yes. But
But wasn't this the former colonel that was at the Jamaica Labour Party conference in November last year?
correct, correct. And I
Mhm.
recently just heard an interview with him, I believe, on a YouTube channel, BOJ, that he was saying that he has been silent for over 4 years, 5 years. And how could you be silent for 4 or 5 years when he was just on the stage, with the government of Jamaica
Mhm.
holding up a sign saying representing the Accompong Maroons? So he has been very active in the last 3 years to 4 years, trying to find a way to pivot himself, to run for office again, and which is his right. But I want the public and the diaspora to understand that they have to look at what is happening from a broad scope, a bird's eye view, right? And ask questions. It's just not always how mainstream media positions things mean
Mm.
that it's always the way that it is. Obviously, Chief Korea has never been put into the mainstream media light always in the best way. Within the first 2 to 3 years, we had to fight to get some form of dignified recognition of the work that Chief Richard Korea and his administration has been trying to do. And people now have seen in the last 5 weeks the actual, tenacity and the true, honorable behavior of Chief Richard Corey and his administration. He has been in the trenches, doing God's work,
Mm.
going to the people, just like yourself, Andre. This is why we can see eye to eye, because we see each other on the highway and the byway to say, okay, you are doing the work. We know what each other are doing. We're getting to the communities. We're getting to the people. We don't just serve Accompong. We serve many other districts, and for us, we want the wider Jamaican society to
Mhm.
recognize that we also want to be part and parcel of what is happening, and part of that conversation. There is some form of divide, a force that wants to divide us, right?
You
And
say a
we're just
force that wants to divide you? What could
well,
be that
well,
force?
well, well. Let's look at it in just common sense,
Mhm.
Andre. Common sense, right?
Yes.
As much as we have finally met with the government of Jamaica, in what I would consider just briefly, it's still one day, right? A few hours. We're hoping that the conversations can continue. But
Mhm.
what will a few hours do when over 5 years we have been trying to develop trust,
Wow.
right? And in 5 years, there has been on both sides, we're not going to say that we haven't made our chess moves just like the government is making their chess moves in order for us to have an even playing field. I think that our administration would like to say that
Mhm.
if we are to go out in February,
Yes.
people will write in history that these young men went out on their feet and not their knees,
Mhm.
right? Because right, we know what we're trying to do, but unfortunately, due to a literacy problem, there are many people who still can't read and write within our communities. We're working on that. We're bringing civics and knowledge in terms of the law, the broader scope of the law to them, so they can truly understand
Mhm.
the spirit of their rights, their inalienable rights, their pre-existing rights
Mhm.
as an indigenous Maroon, right? That predated the colonial period of time, and what does the treaty mean to protect those inalienable rights? These are important because if they don't know these things, Andre, anybody with any color shirt can come up there and just give them something, and they'll just put up a placard and make some noise on a YouTube channel. You understand?
So my thing is, There are greater context I'd want to give to the people tonight. So now we understand that River Hole is where River Hole, is it correct?
It's River Hole. I was saying I made a mistake earlier. I may have said Riverside. It's something else I was thinking. It's River Hole though.
So River Hole, you say, is where the previous colonel is from.
Correct.
They have a strong loyalty and allegiance to him. And
Right.
that is
And
where.
there are a few. Let me be
Mhm,
honest.
mhm,
I'm not going to just highlight that community only and trying to point a finger. But we have to call a spade a spade. They know that their loyalty rests with the former colonel in that. But there are other Maroons, some younger men who unfortunately not being able to see eye to eye with how our administration would like to operate. And what do I mean by that? We want to operate a clean government,
mhm,
right? When it comes to the young men, we're not into the chopping of people, meaning the lying and the scamming and the, you understand what I'm saying?
mhm,
We're not into tricking tourists when they come up to Accompong to create all kind of stories to try to victimize ourselves to then try and get aid that way.
mhm.
We don't believe
So you don't
in
believe
that.
in the skullduggery?
We don't believe in that. And because we do not condone certain things, right? We may not be seen in the light of someone as as an administration that as they may want to say as you know understand our side, you know
Mm,
understand how things run our way. Okay, we may not see eye to eye how you want to do it, but there are other ways that you can learn to do it and receive something in a different way. And we, even though we try, Andre, and to your viewers, we are not able sometimes to reach them because in society, it's not just a Maroon problem. This is a across Jamaica problem,
yes.
a world problem. When people see that they can scam or they can connive or the skullduggery, the corruption, and it's
Mm,
easy to attain money, right? Or people don't believe in hard work anymore, and then people should understand this. You see, as this disease gets bigger and bigger, and we live in the breadbasket of Jamaica, as they say,
mhm.
St. Elizabeth. You need hardworking people. That generation of hardworking farmers
Yes.
is becoming extinct because these younger generation of men are no
Mhm,
longer looking into the framework of hard work and farming and blood, sweat, and tears in terms of tilling the earth. They don't believe in that. They believe in looking in the way of oh me can do that and chop the bread at it, lie to this person,
mm,
lie to this girl and get you understand me I say? So is it for us we're trying to maintain a certain decorum, a certain honorability that when people come and meet Chief Richard Curry, they know that yes, within his administration, it's a total honor, right? That whoever he presents is coming with the same accolades and antecedents
mm.
as we would be having as well, right? So yeah, that's where we are, and we may buck heads with some of these guys. These guys may join people in Riverhole, and as I said, if people look through the video properly, it's not more than 15, 20 people, and there are 1,200 to 1,300 residents in a compound.
How many houses need to be rebuilt in their compound based on your preliminary checks?
I would say anywhere from 200 I would say many homes have been affected.
Mm-hmm.
Many homes have been affected, and we're looking to try and renovate and assist up to maybe 250 homes eventually. Initially, we're going to be rebuilding, full rebuilding, and full renovation of 50 homes
Mm-hmm.
immediately. That
Mm-hmm.
begins as early as next week, where building material and various things will be coming up the hill. We've already done our due diligence and our assessments as early as the first week after the hurricane. We have been
Yes.
getting our list, which is the same list that was very important to the government when they visited us, because they as well are looking for this data to add into their system. um, we would have advised them that we would have already had this data because we were already making our plans for our assistance. Now, of course, if we weren't getting any assistance for 5 years, Andre, it would only make sense that we were making our own plans of helping ourselves,
So you're
right?
saying the Maroons are resilient people. And where you are now, you have built resilience for the past 200 plus, almost 300 years. And at this time, all you will accept from the government of Jamaica is the building materials. What if the Prime Minister sends in the JDF officers? What will the Maroon chief do?
Well, I believe Chief Corey, in terms of his stance as a diplomatic man in his nature as well, he would try to consistently reach out to the office of the Prime Minister or various other international agencies to ensure that some form of conversation is being had as to why would there be a forceful nature. Because if someone is kindly rejecting something that was being offered, I am not sure why it would be forced down on them after the fact. Um, but if that is going to happen, then our administration would have to handle it at that time as best as we can in the best interest of the people.
Interesting. So are you getting the help independently to sort out those houses?
Yes, we have actually acquired a number of partners, donors, volunteers. I'll take the moment to highlight Miss Carol Pickard, who is actually a Maroon from the soil as well. Her foundation has been very instrumental, from the water to various other infrastructures. She has started to assist rebuilding of the primary school before the government of Jamaica started the work on that. I'm not sure if that was a sour point, but the same roof and that was covered at the time when those photos were taken of Chief Richard Curry and the government meeting. That
Mm-hmm.
roof was actually rebuilt by us, the Maroons, with the assistance of Miss Carol Pickard and the Miyasaka Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, we also want to highlight, the Dutch Pot restaurant in Florida. They are also Maroons. They have been instrumental. They donated, initially 12, sorry, not 12, 10 million Jamaican dollars to assist with, into the rebuilding fund. And I would
Mm-hmm.
like to highlight that we have started the commission of buying a brick machine, a block making machine.
Mm-hmm.
And in with that block making machine, we're looking to be able to at least produce up to 7,000 blocks per day.
Mm-hmm.
We have
7,000.
7,000 blocks per day. We're doing this on a big scale, not just obviously to help with the rebuilding of our communities. Why Chief is mandating
Mm.
that every single Maroon household going into the future should have a hurricane-proof bunker, at least one room that should actually have obviously concrete and steel, right? And in doing so, he's actually trying to acquire a big, massive industrial block making machine that could
Mm.
help us to not just help Accompong, but other Maroon communities, because it is heart wrenching, Andre, as you drive through the hills of Cockpit country, and you're seeing people who are completely wiped out of their livelihood,
Mm.
who are we have to be helping them to pitch tents now, in the woods and stuff. So it's an emergency for us to be able to actually bring in machines and heavy equipment such as this, so that we can immediately bring this type of relief in terms of real proper shelter to our people.
So you say you're working to get that the machine, so you can
Yes.
the block building machine, so it can assist you in multiplying and building the houses even faster.
Correct. Chief has already started to partner with a construction company and an architect, engineers that actually have already given to us
Mm.
the floor plans and the building plans of some of these homes that we're going to be building out, the 50 homes,
Mhm.
and how we're going to be, getting them ready for up
Yes.
to, a category 4 to 5 hurricane proof, because we've learned our lessons from Beryl and now Melissa, that
Yeah.
we're going to be able to at least ensure that our people are not going to be as devastated as they were right now. So we hope that people will see the great vision, and not just look at the propaganda and the division that is trying to be stirred up right now.
So, what do you want to say to those descending Maroons tonight?
Well, Andre, to be honest, I'm going to be a realist. If they have not seen what Chief Corey and his administration has tried to do in the last 5 years, whatever I say no won't change their minds at all. They have the right to dissent. I would only say that, as a human being, you should always try to think on your own. I do know that I know some of them do not fully agree with everything, but they have to follow the crowd because that's just how some of them do
Mm,
survive, and it's unfortunate. That's just how some of them survive. Some of them I know can't even look in my eyes when I look at them. Some of them turn their faces and know when they and I speak, they know this is probably not the way,
mhm.
right? And it's sad. It's just very sad that we have reached a point where they believe that the people who they're defending, or they're willing to try to overthrow Chief Richard Corey and his administration for. They believe that those people have the best interests at heart for them, and that's unfortunate. But history will resolve Chief Richard Corey and his administration of any wrongs.
Mhm.
It will show what we've always been trying to do, and usually those people who have done great work in the world, Andre, when you read about them and you look about them, they never ever really get their flowers from their own kingdom.
That's
It's
true.
it's usually after they leave this earth, and it's others from outside that
Mm.
come and remind those people what they had. So to my chief, if you're watching this, my brother, stay strong. To the administration, stay strong. To the people of Accompong who support us, and in throughout the rest of the diaspora and the other Maroon districts, stay
I
strong.
want to ask you this final question because some media houses will start the narrative tomorrow that 90% of their compound does not support or stand strong with the chief. Does the chief command the respect of most of their compound tonight?
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, Andre, if anybody know Maroons, people know that Maroons don't like cameras in their faces. Them don't like to push up themselves into the media and much of politics, especially with a camera in their face. They're always shadow workers in the background, doing their business. So, not because people don't see the supporters of Chief Richard Corey and the majority out there, you
Mhm.
know, lion don't flinch when dog bark, them say. Yeah.
Lions don't flinch when dogs bark. Wow.
Yeah, you understand? So we allow people to voice their opinion and have their dissent, which is a right. That's a proper democracy. Chief Curry is not a dictator, right? So the international world will be able to see that people can dissent, people can have an opposition force, and a government can still continue to
Mhm.
work with those citizens
Yes.
as well as the citizens who agree, and we can find some common ground. That is just the reality of government, how it should be. So, as I said, majority of the people are with Chief Richard Correa, regardless if the media says otherwise. People should look at that. But there will be other town hall meetings. We don't hold those publicly, of course, right? So 15 people cannot speak on the totality of the descent of a Congo.
15 persons can't. Wow. Well, Jamaica, I appreciate I appreciate you joining us tonight, Ambassador Ano L.
Yeah, man. Respect
This won't
Andre.
this won't be the last time, Jamaica, because we're going in an electoral season in the Accompong. And I am sure I'd want to do great coverage of what is happening during that season. But build, build, build. And PDTV stands firm with Chief Richard Corey and his administration. Until then, my brother, can you tell us what you will say? Assalam.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
All right, my
Yeah.
brother.
All right.
Peace be unto you.
Peace be unto you as well. Gratitude.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Let me take a final break, Jamaica. When I come back, I come to wrap up the show tonight.
Stay tuned for more PDTV News evening highlights. Remember to show your support. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.